Good morning. We're going to do some coding today. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on code.org. Now you did this in year 8, so I'm going to come up to there and I'm going to type code.org. Alright, now I'm logged in automatically, and what you're going to do, I'm going to sign out and I'm going to show you what you're going to do. You're going to sign in. It's going to look like that. You're going to press up here, continue with Google. You won't get this little piece, but it will start to look like this. Now you did something in year 8 on this. You made some games and things on here. We're going to start again, particularly today. So we're going to go to new projects, and it's going to be App Lab. So this is our App Lab, and here is our screen over here. This is our mobile phone. We're going to put a few different screens on here. We're going to go to the design view up at the top, and we're going to put these positions on here, and we're going to make it look pretty. So this is screen 1, and over here is where I give it the information that I want. So I don't want it to be called screen 1. I want this to be called screen menu, because we might do 2 or 3 different things on here today. We might just do the one, so be it. I'm going to go and pick a nice big strong red colour on here. That's my background, the colour here. Don't spend a lot of time faffing around, don't get into pictures, get it all working first, and then you can sort this out later on. Now I'm going to put something on the screen. Now I'm going to put a title at the top of the page, so I'm going to drag a label over here, and it looks itty bitty and a bit rubbish. So it's really important is I'm going to label the label as a label. I know that sounds really stupid, but it is a label, and it's on the menu page, and it's going to be the title. Now if you leave that as label 1, you are going to get unstuck very quickly, because I'm going to label things properly all the way through, because we might end up with 3 pages on here, 4 pages maybe even. So the title on this one is menu screen. Let's call it screen rather than page. Menu screen. Okay, now the width of that here, now it's 320. Now remember, in maths we go left to right. Okay, so X is 0 here, and if I go all the way along, you can see X has got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's 320 wide. So I'm going to make mine 300 wide, and look, ooh, big. Now the height here is where it's different from your maths, because our Y score at the moment, you can see it's at 2, and it gets bigger, and it goes all the way down to 450. So up in the top left hand corner is 0, 0, and in the bottom right hand corner is 320, 450. Okay, so the height of this I'm going to make 40, because it looks good. I'm going to change the X position to be 10, and the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to have a 10 gap all the way around that margin, and that's going to make it look proper good. Font size, I'm going to change it to 25. My font, my text color, sorry, over here, let's make it white. So I'm going to drag that circle up in there. That's easy to read now, isn't it? That looks good. And I'm going to center it. Now I'm going to put a border around it, and I'm going to make my border white as well. I've got no border width at the moment. I'm going to change that to, let's change that to 4. Alright, and I quite like a border radius of 10, and that just gives it a nice cushy little feel in here. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get a button. So I'm going to drag a button on the screen, and I'm going to do pretty much the same thing with that. I'm going to label it properly: button underscore menu underscore CC for Caeser Cipher. Alright, and on here I'm going to do CAESER CIPHER Caeser Cipher. Alright, width I'm going to make 300 again, because I think that looks really good. Height I keep at 40, I keep the same at 10 here. And my Y position, I'm going to move it down a little bit. I'm going to move it down to 100. My text colour is white. I'm happy with that. Background colour, a bit boring, isn't it? Go on, should we change it to a nice dark blue? Oh, that's a cool colour. I quite like that. So this is, I'm going to change that's 16 to 00, and that makes a perfect blue. My font size was 25, and it's centered, lovely. Border width, I said 4, and the border color, I want it to be white. So again, I drag that circle up in here to the top left, it's all FF, and then down here, the border radius is 10. Okay, and that looks pretty good. You might want to change the font. I'm not overly impressed with the font, but let's get things working properly first. So this is my menu page, and so if I make some more things on here, I can put some buttons on there and we can go directly to the page. Now what I want to do now is, I'm on the button menu, my mouse is over here in the red bit, I'm going to click and it takes me back to the screen menu. And I'm going to, over here on the right hand side, I'm going to press duplicate, and I've now got a duplicated screen. Alright, so this is at the moment screen 2, and I've just pressed down here, and I don't want it to be screen 2, I want it to be screen underscore CC for my Caeser Cipher, and I don't want it to be red, I want it to be that blue colour. Alright, so that was 0000 FF with a hash in the front there, so that's the same colour as what I did back on the other screen. That keeps it nice and clean. So up here is now not label 2, it's label underscore CC underscore title. Alright, and in here I want to say Caeser Cipher. Okay, everything else, absolutely love it, keep it the same. Now this button here, I need a button and I want it all that size, so this is the button that's on the Caeser Cipher page that's going to take me to the menu. Alright, and on here I'm going to write menu, and I want it low down at the bottom. I want this at 400. Alright, so it's down at the bottom and it's got that 10mm border around it now, like the top one has at the top, so it keeps it nice and neat. Talk about neat, let's put a capital letter on it, shall we? Alright, now this background was red, wasn't it? So if you remember, we come into here, we go to the red, lovely, and that now matches up with the home colour. There you go, with the red there and the blue. So when I press the blue, when I go to the blue screen, and when I press the red, when I go to the red screen. Alright, so what else do I need? I'm going to need a place to write my message, and that's going to be my text input. So I'm going to drag one of those onto the screen. Alright, and I'm going to call this text code. Alright, and here, when it says placeholder, what it means is, can you see, it's coming up like a little ghosty. Right, message here. I'm going to change this to 300. I'm going to start it at 10. I'm going to make the height 40 to make it look like all the others. Otherwise, that's pretty much what I want. Text color black, background color white. Different font family, isn't it, on there? We'll see about that. I'm going to leave the message a little bit smaller than the title, but it looks as though I can write a decent sized message on here. Border width was 4, border color should be white, and then the border radius should be 10. Alright, looks nice. So when I get my button, when I get my message here, I want to press a button, and this button is the button that's on CC, and it's going to code. So that's what I'm going to call it, and I'm going to say code message. The width of this, you'll never guess, it's going to be 300, and the height, wow, there you go, wow, amazing, 40. X position 10. Y position, I'm going to move that a little bit closer, 120, there you go, perfect. That looks better with that around here. The background colour looks a bit Yankee with that orange, so I'm going to do a bit of a lighter. I quite like that blue. That blue works together quite nicely as far as I'm concerned, and with the white writing we can still see it. and we've got Arial black here. Let's go to Arial, and that looks just better. It just looks better. And the size was 20, wasn't it, on the message? So let's keep those fonts together. Look, I tell you what I didn't do down here. Look, I didn't center it. That looks better. Yeah, keep it neat, make it look good. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a funny little bar on here, which is a slider, and this is how we can change our code. So I'm going to drag one, and we're going to put it over here, and you're never going to believe this. We're going to call it, we're going to call it slider_cc. I don't think we're ever going to need another one, but let's keep it properly. You're never going to believe what this width is going to be, or the height. Okay. Exposition 10, yeah, value. Right, so our maximum value to that I want to be 25. Alright, and our minimum value I want to be 1 with a step size of 1. And what's going to happen is, let's change that value, default size to 12, and that will sort of keep that in the middle. We're going to move that. We're going to change the code, how much it moves up and down. I know I've not talked to you about what it's going to do yet, but I'm going to show you that when we actually write the code. All right, so I want another one of these. So I'm going to press on it here, and I'm going to duplicate it. Oh, look, now I've got another one. And so this is going to be text decode. All right. And I have that right message here, and this exposition, let's take that down to 200. That's not low enough, is it? 240, that's about right, and that needs to be around about 10. Yeah, that works quite nicely for me. So we've got the name on there, we've got everything else matching perfectly, and we're going to write a message here. We're going to press the button. This is going to tell us, it's going to move the code, it's going to move the letter up and down the alphabet here, and then write message here is going to be where the message is going to be decoded into here, and then we're going to have another button down here which decode the message. So I'm going to take that one, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to press duplicate. All right, and I'm going to drag it down pretty close to where I want it to be, and this is going to be button underscores cc underscore decode. So here I'm going to write decode message, and everything basically there set up just how I want it to be. I don't think there's anything else that I want to do there. So that's the end of the first one. We've set up 2 screens.